Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Aries, April 17, 2022. You can draw a lot of energy from your reflections and deeper thought today, and you can quietly accomplish much. You prefer to move about with few distractions and happily in your own world. Even though you're often preoccupied today, you're very aware of others. In the first half of the day, you can feel torn between business and pleasure with a Sun-Venus semi-square in play. Watch for agreeing to something just to make a problem go away temporarily. It's tempting, but keep in mind that, by doing so, you're borrowing from your future. Your attention is divided: either your relationships distract you from your work or chores, or you're not entirely present in your relationships because you're thinking about your duties. In truth, the drive towards either area of life is strong these days, and you have all the tools to do both well. Today you will consolidate all the romantic gains you have made over the past weeks. There is a very comforting and solid energy in the air. It is a great time to share feelings in a sensitive and moving way. There is a real flow, and the vibrations are wonderful for creating a great mood of harmony. Perhaps you won't feel so much passion, but simply that it is good to be together. What is on your mind? On the outside, you are a peaceful, sociable colleague to work with. But on the inside, since the moon is glowing in Libra, you could be secretly critical. Maybe you are frustrated with a coworker or a project, since you may feel like something is not working the way it should. If the nitpicky lunar energy seems to weigh you mentally down, you should consider working alone today. You may accomplish more with less stress by taking on a solo project at work. A friendly aspect between the moon, as it makes its monthly visit to an intuitive and imaginative part of your chart, and Uranus in your financial sector, is a monthly event. The difference this time is that 3 days after Mercury returned with the smart head for money needed to get your head in the game and to get money matters moving, this can complement this by inspiring your financial confidence, instincts and imagination. Try to be more modest in your private relations. You tend to think only your views are right and show too little interest for others. This is why you're often perceived as being arrogant or complacent. You must listen to other people's points of view and get off your high horse. Your work or studies will become a lot more appealing and seem to apply more and more to your real life. Go deeper into it and see what happens. Persevering in matters of the heart is to be admired, but if you're still creating confusion through your repetitive pattern of behavior, this needs to be broken. You do have the power to make a breakthrough, and after this phase are able to adopt a more honest approach when new love possibilities become a reality. Wanting to do your best is a wonderful feeling to have, only you might need to learn how to deal with disappointment as well. You tend to put a lot of pressure on yourself to succeed, to do better than average. Your boisterous personality can get you through numerous situations without much effort, but sometimes it's just not about you, and you need to be able to recognize this. Detachment is something many martial arts teach. Consider some such activity. Expect to get more rattled than usual if things don't go quite as you planned. You're sure to notice that you have an even greater need for organization and scheduling on this day. This is what this vibration is largely about. Given your propensity for insisting on doing things your way, any change in what you have planned will throw you off. Be sure that you think before you speak, as an outburst can burn some bridges for you. Be as flexible as you can. While Mars' return to your work sector is going to fire things up on the job front, just as we not only prepare to move into the weekend but over Easter, he is here for the next 6 weeks. On the one hand, this means that you don't have to jump into the deep end, but on the other hand, Mars joins an active team of planets that were never going to slow down for anything. Fortunately, as the moon leaves a nostalgic and reflective part of your chart, it wraps up a visit that has just put how well you know when to keep your work hat on and when to take it off to the test. Nearly 6 weeks after Mars not only returned to your romantic sector but arrived aligned with Venus, the planet of love, the warrior planet of the cosmos, finally leaves today. Venus left 9 days ago, but Mars has stayed on, continuing to fuel your romantic passions and fighting spirit, and as he leaves, something to keep fighting for. This is the point when it becomes more about the journey. Our eyes in the sky. Your creative side needs some kind of organization, but the passion is still burning in your soul, especially as the waning gibbous moon trots through earthy Libra. There's a dynamic pull between structure and ambition as a continuing presence, with a square between the moon in Libra and Saturn in Aquarius. Also, the moon's alignment with Uranus, also in Libra, will shake things up. There is a conviction in the collective that can go either way. Pay close attention to the news you receive over the next few days, and don't give up on your dream. With plenty of raw and real conversations going on, you might just come to a conclusion that you've needed to see and understand for many years. Never compromise your interests for the needs of others. This moon affirms the necessity of embodying our inimitable individuality. Libra new moon, we have been looking for ways to achieve both personal and relational balance through compromise and diplomacy. Yet, through this process, we have discovered which of our relationships operate under the illusion of giving and take while exploiting our vulnerabilities. Today, volatile events penetrate superficial dynamics and force us to see things for what they are. The moon opposes Mars and also forms a tense T-square with Pluto in Capricorn, unearthing buried resentments and hostilities. Exposed secrets or impulsive demands could spell the end of toxic or stressful relationships, those which have survived under the assumption that we will not speak our mind or make a scene. While these events might be distressing or disappointing, asserting ourselves is long overdue. Certainly, this full moon will not spell doom for romances and friendships on a healthy footing, but it marks an occasion where we acknowledge that we deserve better, and we don't need others to dictate what better should look like for us. The moon enters a short void following this transit, and as is typical during full moons, we should allow time for processing and integration without making grandiose statements or decisions now. Although fights may occur, avoid statements of finality. The moon in Libra, dissipating tensions brought to a climax during the full moon, but also finding us resorting to stubbornness and emotional rigidity. Over the next 2 days, our impulse will be to slow down and ground ourselves, which is good medicine for those with minimal natal placements in earth signs, but may feel sluggish to those who have the energy to burn. We take pleasure in material comforts, making this an ideal occasion for art projects, gardening, or maintenance work which will benefit from patience and a steady hand. If you're under work or other pressure and unable to socialize, you could experience some mood swings. Just try not to behave in a way you might come to regret later. However, Mercury in opposition scrambles our ability to express ourselves. We forget the minutiae, and our interactions become laden with misunderstandings. Frustration is the result of this cosmic clash, so give the time-sensitive deeds on your to-do list a bit of extra padding and prepare for 1 or 2 awkward conversations.